Hello, viewers. Welcome to another episode of the Little Fella Sports Podcast. We are now building up to another season of the Indian Premier League, and today, to preview the IPL auction that's going to happen next week, we have the Twitter celebrity Crick Crazy Johns, aka Johns, joining us on this podcast today. So, Johns, a warm welcome to you, and thank you for taking time out being a part of the podcast today.
It's a pleasure to talk with you guys. I think we have been doing this for last few months. We have been build upping for IPL, then for India versus England Australia series. Then Vijay has signed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. So it has been we have been covering a lot of cricket. It's a great pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah, it's the same. The pleasure is also ours, Johns, because you were one of our first guests when we started off the podcast. I remember doing the one of the IPL team previews with you, and our journey has continued into the next season of the IPL as well. So today on the agenda, we're going to be discussing a lot about the Indian Premier League auctions coming up next week. Before we get started, do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube content. We have lots of videos lined up for the India England series and for the IPL auction. So stay tuned. Johns, starting off with the podcast today, we have looked at a lot of key players being released by almost all the sites. Some teams have a very large purse. Some teams have a very important slots to be filled in the starting 11. How do you think each team is going to take up the auction?
First of all, from defending champions Mumbai Indians, they have released three overseas bowlers. James Pattinson, he told that he need to be rested before the season, Australia season starting. With maybe World Test Championship final. Then they have released Nathan Coulter-Nile, who was really expensive and he didn't make much. He made much impact in last season. Then Lasith Malinga, everyone knows he has retired. So from Mumbai Indians point of view, they will be looking at some of the foreign overseas bowlers, which has been their backbone. They already have Trent Bolt, then Jasprit Bumrah. So they will be looking at guys like Mark Wood, Adam Millany, Baron Trough. So there are a few guys who they can look at. And then Chennai Super Kings has maintained that core in overseas department. Apart from Shane Watson, who retired, they have seven overseas players. Then, other than that, they have released few Indian players like so Kedar Jadhav, Piyush Chawla. They will be looking at some of the Indian guys. Then coming to Bangalore Royal Challengers, they have released a few guys like Moeen Ali, Usru Dana, etc. So they will be looking at some of the all rounders. Then one main fast bowler because they have released Dale Steyn has been retired, so they will be looking at a premium fast bowler from overseas who can handle the pressure in death overs. They have Kane Richardson, but still they will be looking at one more guy. They need a Indian backup wicket keeper because Parthy Patel has retired. So there are guys like Mohammad Asruddin from Kerala, Vishnu Vinod from Kerala, they will be looking at these guys who can be a backup for Parthiv Patel, who retired recently. Then coming into Kings 11 Punjab, they have the biggest players. They have released Glenn Maxwell, Sheldon Cottrell, Jimmy Neesham, Mujib. So they need to get some things right. They have a good core. If you look at their team, Mayank Agarwal is there, Chris Gale is there, KL Rahul is there, then Nicholas Puran is there, Chris Jordan is there. Then they have Ishan Porel, Akshadeep Singh, Ravi Bishnoi. So they have that core, but they need to bring some guys like Child Richardson, who can be we can't say he can be a lethal, but by looking at the auction players list in 292 players, Child Richardson might be the player they will be looking at. So they need to pick some main players, especially they have near to they have the highest purse, so they'll be looking at to fix this spot, and they missed out last IPL playoff by 2 point something. So they'll be looking at to fix that thing. Then coming to Rajasthan Royals, they have released Steven Smith, so they'll be looking at a player like Glenn Phillips or David Malan or Alex Hales to overcome that hole. Especially they need someone like him, because we don't know the availability of Josh Butler or Ben Stokes in later half of the season, because IPL will be starting around April 15th or 13th something, and it will be moving going to June first week. There has been some reports, uh, Times of India and India Express, etc. Something, some website has posted that June first week it will be ending the IPL. So they might not get the services of Ben Stokes, Josh Butler, Geoffrey Archer, etc. So they'll be looking at getting some good backups. Last season they didn't have that issue, and even this time this COVID circumstances, etc., made that call. So they'll be looking for good backups. Then another team, Kolkata Knight Riders, has maintained the core, which is bit surprise, especially Pat Cummins again returning for 15 CR. I thought they'll be releasing Pat Cummins. Then other than that, they have released Tom Banton. They have Tim Seifert from New Zealand. He has been in some terrific form throughout the last season for New Zealand and in Super Smash, even in CPL also. So they have maintained that core. Then Sunrisers also. I thought they'll be releasing Mitchell Marsh or someone like Mohammad Nabi, etc., to get that flexibility going into the auction. But they released Fabian Allen, which was really surprising. He has the potential to finish the matches for any team. He didn't get any opportunity last season. It was a bit surprising, releasing Fabian Allen. Especially many teams need that a number 7 batsman, and Fabian is the best guy from this slot who can do that job. And retaining some of the players, it was little bit strange. Then they have released Billy Stanley. They will be looking at an overseas fast bowler. Then another team, the Delhi Capitals, has maintained that core because they don't need to change much, but still they will be looking at a overseas opener or overseas top order batsman, especially Jason Roy. They have released. Then it was a bit surprising that they retained Chris Brooks, especially the availability of some of the fast bowling options. We have lots of fast bowling options in this IPL auction. So even Chris Fox, who is not a regular member of England T20 team, and Delhi Capitals has retained him. Then they need a backup Indian wicketkeeper batsman, because last season we have seen when Rishabh Pant was injured, they played Alex Carey, and it made lots of issues in team combination. So they will be looking at a guy like as Bangalore Royal Challengers will be looking at a big wicketkeeper like Vishnu Vinod or Mohammad Asruddin or someone. There are lots of players who has performed really well inside Mushtaq Ali. So these are the small changes, and I don't see much bigger changes in team lineup. So there are a few guys we need to look at, but Mitchell Stark will be a big miss, especially for Kings 11 Punjab. I think they were looking at Mitchell Stark, but I don't know why he is not playing in this IPL season, because with South Africa series postponed, that even he is not playing in the 100 league. So there was time for him. Maybe he need to spend more time with family. There was some issues, etc. During that T20 series where he went to see his family, or need to spend time with family. So we don't know the exact reason. So these are the main things we might see in the upcoming auction.
Yeah, as John's pointed out, it's a very big auction for all the teams, especially given the fact that a lot of teams have building to do, and given that this is one auction for the big mega auction where we just have the entire pool of players coming in. I think it's really essential for some teams to find out some players that they can retain going in the long run. So just to summarize what John spoke about, he spoke in good detail about the particular areas where each team will be looking to build on and the reasons why certain players have been released. So now, if you look at the table, we have Chennai Super Kings and maybe Mumbai Indians with a set core. They have almost 8 to 9 players ready in their team, and they're just looking for a couple of spots to be filled in. But if you look at some teams like Kings 11 Punjab and even for that matter, Royal Challengers Bangalore, they have a lot of overseas options left because some of their major overseas players have been dumped in the retention list. RCB, on the other hand, have a lot of slots because they've not only released a lot of overseas players, but they've also released some of their seasoned campaigners like Umesh Yadav and Parthiv Patel owing to retirement. Sunrisers Hyderabad, on the other hand, have very limited slots to fill in, but they have to look at some players who can play in that middle order for them because the Indian middle order core has been an issue for Sunrisers Hyderabad, who've been predominantly top heavy in all these years of the IPL. Coming over to KKR, I guess KKR have an issue with their bowling. They probably will look to fill in some slots with their bowling. And of course, maybe a good Indian batsman who can act as a backup even for Dinesh Karthik or Nitish Rana and Shubman Gill. Coming over to Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals again have the problem at 5-6. They still haven't found a proper player who can play in that 5-6 position. And with respect to Rajasthan Royals, they've released Steve Smith and they've traded Robin Uthappa. So they're clearly making way for some of the seasoned IPL players like Manan Bora and even someone like Maipal Lomler to come into the side and play a role. So I think this particular retention policy that some teams have followed is basically to make sure they don't have any redundant resources in their squad and really target the spots that they want to fill in this auction. So moving over to our next segment. A lot of big money buys have been released in this particular window where we've actually seen people like Steve Smith, Glenn Maxwell, and even Chris Morris get released. It was very surprising to be honest that all big names got released, but I think there is a thought process behind it. Johns, what is your take on all these big overseas stars getting released in this particular window?
First of all, Steve Smith, we have seen Steve Smith struggling in IPL or other T20 T20 matches. Apart from 2019 in the home series against Pakistan and Pakistan and some one more team who came to Australia, he did well that season, but still he was missing something in last IPL season. There was in uh, they were paying around 10 CR plus to a guy who's coming from overseas, and he's a captain. He was the captain as well last season. So they were not getting the returns from Steve Smith, and that was making a huge mix up or balance in overseas department because Jofra Archer, Ben Stokes, and Josh Butler has been sealed as three overseas spot, and one more guy will be Steve Smith. If Steve Smith is not performing, which someone like if you look at a guy like Shane Watson who has been performing every IPL season, or a guy like the AB de Villiers who has been their backbone. So overseas players mostly will be their backbones, or a player who can't get from Indian domestic department. If you look at Steve Smith performance in last few seasons, which has been really below par as a player. So, and we have players like Manan Mora who has been doing really well in the last domestic seasons, and whenever he got opportunity, even he did well, really well in the this uh, practice matches, etc. But he didn't get a single opportunity. One of the main reason was Steve Smith in the top order, and he tried many positions. If you look at last season, he played as an opener, he played as number 3, number 4, but never clicked apart from that Sharjah match in first two matches. So and one more game he scored a 50 something, but the consistency was really less. If you are paying more than 10 cr and not getting that returns, means you need to move away, because the pool or a T20, if you look at around the globe, the T20 is becoming one of the exciting things, and we have seen many batters. If you look at every team, Glenn Phillips coming from New Zealand, David Malan. Even David Malan has the issues, but still he is one of the he is the number one T20 international batsman. Then there is Sam Billings will be there, Alex Hales will be there, Liam Livingston will be there, Josh Inglis from Australia will be there. So Ashton Turner. So there are several guys who are waiting for an opportunity for in the IPL. So if someone like Steve Smith or even Glenn Maxwell, apart from that 2014 UA edition, he hasn't been performing well into the expectation. But still, teams has been given lots of money for him, but uh, the the returns has been less. So these two guys, it was expected for Glenn Maxwell's case, but Steve Smith, most of them never thought, because Rajasthan has been backing Steve Smith for last few years. Everyone thought they will be moving away from him in a mega auction, but it was bit surprised, but it was the right decision, and they have that money in their purse, around 10 cr. Have extra money will be there going to the IPL auction. So they can spend on a better way and fix that position in the opening top order department. And coming to Chris Morris, it was a bit surprising, but my cousin has already told he has that injury issue. So maybe Bangalore might buy Chris Morris back, because I think they were paying around 10 cr and he played just 4 or 5 matches. So it was a bit surprised, but my cousin has that already told he has the injury issues, and even if with no Mitchell Stark, uh, Chris Morris will get another 10 cr in this auction as well. So everything has its own reasons, if you look at from team's point of view. Everything was on right note, I would say.
Yeah, as you pointed out, Johns, definitely some of the decisions that the franchises have taken have definitely been because they've not been able to fit those players into the four overseas slots that they have. And as you pointed out, with the Chris Morris situation is definitely a little bemusing because RCB paid a lot of money for him. He hardly played around 8 to 10 games for them. They went to the last four, but then they got dumped in the eliminator. So I guess maybe it's just a cost-cutting measure from RCB's point of view. They might go for Morris again. And then, of course, as you pointed out with Maxwell, yes, his inconsistency is something that Kings 11 Punjab have not been very happy with. So definitely, I think Maxwell's dump from the squad is kind of self-explanatory. So moving on, we've had a very good side Mushtaq Ali Trophy in India. It was the first domestic tournament held after the coronavirus outbreak, and it was a grand success. We saw a lot of talents coming through from the SMAT tournament. So, who would you say are going to be the major uncapped stars to look after? For example, we've had Shah Rukh Khan from Tamil Nadu, we've had Azruddin from Kerala. All these guys have stood out. They've performed really well on the biggest stage. So, if you had to handpick a few uncapped players to look out for, who would they be?
Good morning. Even last year, I thought Shah Rukh Khan would get a IPL team, but it was really surprising that no one was bidding for him. But this time, he has given everything inside Mushtaq Ali, especially the way he finished the matches or finished the innings for Tamil Nadu. Every match, he has been contributing with a strike rate of around 150. So many teams like KKR, every team, if you look at, they need a finisher, especially a Indian finisher means that gives extra stability or flexibility. If you look at Mumbai Indians, their flexibility is Indian core players, just with Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, and this Rohit Sharma. So they have a opener from India, they have a death bowler from India, they have a all rounder from India, and they can build a team, and that's how that's why Mumbai Indians is so successful. So if you get a guy like Shah Rukh Khan, we don't know how he'll be coping up the pressure of IPL or going against extra pace or against likes of Jasprit Bumrah or someone like Chris Morris, etc. But still, a guy like Shah Rukh Khan gives that flexibility to get in some major overseas players. That's why a correlation between Indian and overseas players is really vital in T20 lineups, especially in IPL. To win trophies, that is why Mumbai Indians is successful. That was the one reason why KKR was successful in 2012-14. Chennai Super Kings was successful in early years of IPL. So Shah Rukh Khan provides that depth too. If you look at KKR, they need a number 7 batsman. They were missing a number 7 batsman last year, and every team, even Chennai Super Kings, need a finisher. With Dhoni has been going downwards direction in last season, and Chennai was missing a finisher apart from Devi Jadeja, and Shah Rukh Khan may be a good option. And Sunrisers has Abdul Samad, but still they may look at him. But so every team will be looking at this Shah Rukh Khan. Then Periyaswamy, I was really expecting Tamil Nadu might give him lots of opportunity, but Dinesh Karthik went with spin heavy attack every matches with pitches was supporting two spinners. So Periyaswamy, then Vishnu Vinod, Mohammad Asruddin, as you told, these two guys, I think they'll be getting a franchisee. They'll be getting that bid because this Delhi Capitals need a backup wicketkeeper. Bangalore Royal Challengers need a backup wicketkeeper. So they'll be looking at guys like Mohammad Asruddin or Vishnu Vinod. So then there is Vishnu Solanki is there who played that helicopter shot of MS Dhoni to finish that game's few matches inside Mushtaq Ali. So there are some few names to look out in this IPL in this auction from Indian domestic department, especially there are we have heard lots of teams has already called for trials from Nagaland. A few spinners was called in for the trials. Then there is Akash Singh, especially he was released by Rajasthan Royals. Then M Siddharth, who was released by this Kolkata Knight Riders, who did really well in the final. That gives a big boost for M Siddharth to get a team. Then so there are few guys to look after in this auction as well.
Yeah, as you pointed out, Johns, definitely there is a lot of talent in India which has not yet gotten a full-fledged chance at the IPL level. And given that we have a very important auction coming up next year, where the entire squads of all the franchises is going to be fully revamped, I think it's very essential that teams use this auction as a base and try to find some of the uh, un- unnurtured talent that's there in the Indian domestic circuit. So we've talked about the uncapped talent pool that India has. Now let's shift to the overseas talent pool that the auction is going to bring up. So some big names are in the auction pool, and some really proven T20 names are also there in the auction pool. Is uh, is there any specific overseas player that you're looking forward to in the auction who you think will go for big bucks?
Highest paid player will be mostly Giles Richardson from Australia or Chris Morris from South Africa. Other than that, if Mitchell Stark was there, I thought he will be getting around 15 to 18 CR from this mini auction, but he missed out for some reasons. If you look at Alex Hales will be there, Glenn Phillips will be there, Sam Billings is there, David Malan is there, but he didn't had a great big bash season that might affect his money in this auction. But still, he is the number one T20 batsman, and some teams need that top order overseas player. So I'm really looking forward to Giles Richardson, Chris Morris, Sam Billings, Glenn Phillips, Alex Hales, then Glenn Maxwell. Every time he gets a big buckets, So these guys are, I'm really looking forward. And there are some surprising names as well. Finn Allen from uh, New Zealand. He did well in Super Smash. He has been doing really well, but I don't know whether he'll be getting a franchise. He is really young and not proven in big international against international bowlers, etc. Then there is from Afghanistan Naveen ul Haq. He has that slinky action of like Jasprit Bumrah or Lasith Malinga. He can hold some good Yorkers. Then Gurbanas from Afghanistan. He has been really doing well for Afghanistan whenever he got opportunity. Especially he has that right Indian. He just comes and just go after the bowling from ball one. Then Ivan Lewis from West Indies, because he did well in T10 league, and he has been doing well in Super 50 competition in West Indies. So he is going through a good run. Maybe teams might look at him, but still, the main guys will be Alex Hales, Sam Billings, then Glenn Phillips, then Glenn Maxwell, then Giles Richardson, Chris Morris. These are the main guys to watch out for in this auction. Then there is Aaron Finch as well. I don't know whether he'll be getting that franchisee bid. Maybe CSK might try him, because if they don't get Sam Billings or Moeen Ali, maybe because they have a overseas slot for Shane Watson, who has retired. So mainly Finn's form has been really a bit worry, especially he had a pretty good, average big bash season. So main guys, as I pointed out, will be Giles Richardson, Chris Morris, etc.
Yeah, definitely, Johns. As you said, I think uh, the whole overseas contingent has some really important names, but then seeing the amount of slots that teams have to fill for the overseas players, I think we're probably going to see the best of the best being picked by the teams. And definitely, Jai Richardson, he had an injury issue in late 2019, but now he's come back and he's now bowling really well. And even in the BPL, he had some really good performances. So I think teams that are looking for a good pacer will probably look at Jai Richardson as an option. Chris Morris is definitely proven at the IPL level. So yeah, I think we'll see a few teams going big for Chris Morris, and some a batsman like Glenn Phillips or Aaron Finch would definitely get some big bucks, especially for teams that are looking for some firepower at the top of the order. So now we're almost at the end of the podcast. So one last question to wrap it up to you, Johns. If you had to pick three players now, uh, at this moment, to be the costliest buys of the auction. Of course, nothing is in our control when it comes to the auction. But if you had to pick three players who would go for big money, who would they be?
First will be Chris Morris. Especially he didn't play much last season, but whenever he bowled, there was when RCB was always in the match. He was bowling with real heat. And the overs he bowled in death overs was really special. So I think with no Mitchell Stark, Chris Morris will be highest paid. Then there will be Giles Richardson, and number three will be uh, maybe Glenn Maxwell once again. I don't know whether once again teams will be going, but still Queensland Punjab has that 50 CR in their bank, or even Rajasthan Royals has 30 something, and some other franchises also had that money. So maybe Glenn Maxwell, but number one and number two will be uh, Giles Richardson and Chris Morris. Then there will be a few surprising names like Fabian Allen from West Indies. He has been doing really well here. He's a real package. He can field. He can. He's brilliant in field, and he can give you overs, and he's a really good finisher. So Fabian Allen is there. Then there are Meredith from Australia, Nathan Elias from Australia. Then Kyle Jameson is there. But still, number one and number two will be Chris Morris and Giles Richardson, especially Mumbai Indians need fast bowlers. Kings 11 Punjab need fast bowlers. Rajasthan Royals need fast bowlers. So there will be heavy competition for these two guys from these top teams. So they'll be going around 12 to 13 CR something, I believe.
Yeah, definitely, Johns. As you pointed out, I think overseas fast bowlers are going to be the most important commodity in this auction. And if that's the case, then Jai Richardson and Chris Morris are definitely top of the pile. And some teams are looking for some attacking batsmen at the top of the order, which probably makes people like Glenn Maxwell an automatic choice in their teams. So that's about it from this very special IPL auction preview with Quick Crazy Johns. It was a pleasure having you, Johns, on the show. Thanks a lot for being taking the time out and being a part of the podcast today. And viewers, as I said before, we have lots of content coming up for the IPL and for the India England series. So do like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us at the Little Fellas handle on Twitter and Instagram. We'll be back with another exciting video. So stay tuned. Take care. Bye bye.